Now this is down looking at Elf Mountain. This is Department 56's North Pole Village, and they have very clever names for their pieces, and so I just kind of take off the names of their pieces to name the areas of the village. Right up at the top of Elf Mountain is the Elf Mountain Ski Resort. We built a ski lift out of some telephone poles and candy canes, and we've got all kinds of skiers and snowboarders. Down at the bottom is the snowboard shop. I had to get that a couple of years ago because we have boys that do lots of snowboarding. Back in the corner is the Glacier Park Pavilion with some ice skating going on. And then up at the front, underneath the ski hill, is the Antler Inn where the elves go and they do some ice fishing. And then the Coca-Cola refreshment area. And when it's working properly, like it is right now, the Coca-Cola bottle bubbles in there. And then we've got an eggnog pub and a little sign that says Merry Christmas. Of course, Merry is spelled properly there. And then the polar bear taxi, ice fishing on the pond, and Santa's reindeer rides, a polar bear museum, and some pony rides here, and a petting zoo, a train station. And then if you need a Christmas tree, you go to Needles Tree Farm. And then we work into Route 1, which is where there's some industrial things going on, the Santa's Woodworks and the Forge, and of course they have their little nativity scene set out in front of the Forge. And then some snow manufacturing, not that they needed at the North Pole. And then they make nutcrackers and knitting. And then we come into, I think my favorite area is Santa's area, where the reindeer get trained. It's the reindeer feed store and the reindeer flight school. And I just love the design of these pieces with the little sock, the wind sock, and the hangar-looking building. Reindeer crossing signs. Rudolph is a new addition to the village this year. And then here are three of the original pieces: Santa's Workshop and the reindeer barn, the original reindeer barn, and the elf bunkhouse. And they're keeping warm by the fire. And then here is Santa's house. He lives at number 1, Route 1. And then below is the coal mine. So now we know where they get the coal for those who have been naughty. And then we come up into the top here. More of Santa's business with the lookout tower and the Naughty or Nice Detective Agency, which is really cute with this little elf that spins around with the big eyeball to look and see who's been naughty, who's been nice. And then they plan Santa's flights and check the weather. Power is supplied there with the power company, and then the radio station at the top. Of course, it's KOLD radio. Then below, they're manufacturing some igloos. And then we get into the fun area, lots of toys being manufactured, trains and rocking horses. This is apparently a Swedish rocking horse builder. They call this Bjorn Two Rocks, which I think is very cute. And then Mickey Mouse watches and the Acme Toy Company with Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. And then one of my favorite pieces, can you tell they're all my favorite pieces? The Dumpees Toy Trucks. This little building is so cleverly designed to look like a toy truck. And then the Jack in the Box plant. They call this plant number 2. I don't know what happened to plant number 1. Jigsaw puzzles being built, and then another favorite with the board games, all the Monopoly pieces, and you can see the chutes and ladders for Candyland. Candyland pieces, and there's a little mouse trap down there for the old mousetrap game. Very cute. And then down below, we've got, I should learn to work this camera, the commercial zone with the Crayola manufacturing and Lego and Play-Doh, and Barbie is in the back there. And next year, Fisher-Price is going to be moving in. And then in the corner, another one of my favorite pieces. This is the first one Vic got for me. This is a chapel, and this chapel does not belong to the North Pole Village officially, but it belongs to mine. This is from the New England Village, but got this for me. He knew I needed a chapel, and he knew it needed to be Department 56, and that's what he got for me. So it's the first one. It's very special. He's bought many more pieces over the years. He blames me for this village being so big. It's really his fault. And then in front of the commercial zone, all the stuff for your Christmas decorating, Christmas tree toppers, Santa's light shop, the tinsel mill, ornaments, and glitter factory. And these elves that are untangling the lights. Very cute. More lights. The gate to the North Pole here. Fire station after 9/11. All of the villages got a fireman raising the flag. One of the original pieces, the popcorn and cranberry house. And of course they need a beard barber shop and a beauty shop. Newspaper and the Hall of Records. And of course, any village of ours would have a dance hall. And then in the back of Kringle Street, the original North Pole buildings, they spell out North Pole with the wreaths on the door, with the North, Nini's and Orleys and Rimpies and Tassies and Hassels. This was what sold me on the village when my parents first set theirs up. We have the North Pole buildings all the way down to Elfie Sleds and Skates, Tin Soldiers, Santa's Dolls and Bears, the Kringle Street Town Santa, bread bakers. I just think this is so cute that the building looks like loaves of bread. And the Kringle Street Town Tree, and the little pointy-toed shoemaker, the Kringle Street Town Snowman. Lots to see on Kringle Street. A few years ago, it got so busy we had to put in a stoplight. And then at the end of Kringle Street, we move on to Sugar Hill. This is where all the elves go to get their cavities, I suppose. This sweet shop that just doesn't really need a name other than that. And the gumdrop tree, the gumdrop manufacturing, candy canes. The M&Ms are dancing inside of there. Peppermint trees. Sweet Rock Mining Company. They're mining down inside of there. And then the candy mill pulling taffy. Fruit cake. I'm not a fan of fruit cake, but I love this little building that looks like a little fruit cake. And then this gumdrop tree is one of the things that I got this year. And a little donut shop. And then the Sugar Hill housing, which is how Sugar Hill got its name. Zoom out again. Snow cones there. Going back down Kringle Street, just to look at the whole thing again. I'll be tearing this down soon, sometime this week, I hope. Waiting until next year. At the very end, back in the corner by Nolly's and Ollie's snowboard shop. There's a little elf that's dressed sort of like Uncle Sam. And Sadie from my Sunday school class hid him back here. She hid him from me, and I finally found him, and I left him over there. He just doesn't look like he belongs at the North Pole. He looks like he belongs, I don't know, Philadelphia maybe. Zooming out, back to the reindeer rides. So, that's the village this year. There's a reason that well, I guess it's me that's more the village idiot, but it's a labor of love every year. I got it from my dad and my mom. They have a village. Mine has outgrown theirs, but theirs is fairly sizable too. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, until next year.